do you think happened with Paul Pelosi?
I think that's a crock of
Really?
I think it's another Jesse Smollett's what I think.
So you think there's some sort of the stories that are being told are not exactly what happened?
Absolutely not what happened. I think those people are always about causing chaos and then standing back and going, oh my gosh, look what the MAGA people did.
Is there a reason that you don't want to wait until the police statement comes out to kind of pass judgment?
Well, no, they're paid off probably too out there, so no.
Okay. Do you back the blue?
I do. The honest ones, yes, but some of them have been bought off, I do believe, by the Democrat left.
Some of the blue.
There's something weird happening in the Republican Party lately. Now that Democrats are being physically attacked by MAGA maniacs, Republican voters aren't so excited about backing the blue. That's because they believe the police are now being paid off by Democrats to falsely accuse Republicans of violence. So much for defunding the police. And this isn't the first time Republicans have decided that they prefer attacking the blue to backing the blue. Here's sadly defeated Senate candidate Tim Ryan telling some uncomfortable truths about the GOP's conditional love for the police to Fox News.
They stormed the Capitol on January 6th. They beat up 140 police officers, killed one. Okay, they killed one. We all watched the video on January 6th. 140. I sit on the subcommittee that funds the Capitol Police. These are my friends. 140 of them got hurt, and some of them still can't go back to work because they were beat up with lead pipes. They were sprayed with pepper spray. They were beaten with flagpoles. Okay? They were trying to overthrow the government. They were trying to stop the peaceful transition of the government. What else were they doing there?
In this new conspiracy theory-filled Republican world, the laws simply don't apply to them. Any election results they don't like, those are fake. Any police who try to protect Democratic leaders, they aren't real police, they're secret Democrats. And what about the Democrats themselves? They're enemies of the state. It's no surprise that this kind of language is leading to outright violence. And Republicans are doing more than just attacking Democrats. They're sowing conspiracies about the government itself, especially IRS agents. Suddenly, the party that wants to give billionaires tax cuts is also riling up their working class base to think of federal tax officials as enemies of freedom. And if history is any indication, this can get violent fast.
In recent weeks, a baseless conspiracy theory propagated by top GOP leaders has spread to all levels of the Republican Party, and it's a lie. Responding to the new funding for the IRS and the recently passed Inflation Reduction Act, Republicans have united around a lie that 87,000 armed IRS agents will soon come breaking down the doors of middle-class Americans. In reality, most of the new funding will be put towards hiring desk workers to enforce tax laws against the highest-paying Americans.
Against the richest Americans.
Republicans have used that fear-mongering about federal agents to push their own twisted guns-at-any-cost agenda. In Iowa, voters yesterday agreed to change the state constitution to make gun ownership virtually unchallengeable in court. Now, Iowa lawmakers have practically no legal way to regulate guns at all. So, Republicans are pushing these far-out conspiracy theories. But what do they plan to actually do about them? If you guessed defunding the police, surprise, you're right. Not only have Republicans like soon-to-be Senator J.D. Vance talked about defunding the IRS's law enforcement ability, they also want to target police they feel are compromised by protecting Democrats. That means anyone who goes against the MAGA line. As Joe Biden has said, it's impossible to be both pro-law enforcement and pro-insurrection. And as the list of election-denying Republicans who won their elections last night shows, the new GOP is absolutely pro-insurrection. And unfortunately for all of us, those election-denying Republicans are now headed to Washington.
In the midterms this year, 185 Republicans running for House, Senate, and governor seats are election deniers. They've either said the 2020 election was stolen or took legal steps to overturn its results. Of those 185 contenders, 122 of them, or 66%, are clear favorites in their races. As of Tuesday, November 1st, 538's forecast gives them a better than 95 in 100 chance of winning.
And I've got some bad news for you. A lot of those election deniers that 538 predicted would win, well, they won. That includes Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, who was previously most famous for suing the FEC because Twitter wouldn't give her a blue check. Luna also believes the 2020 election was stolen. Now she'll be part of the Republican caucus. The list goes on, from Arizona's David Schweikert to Debbie Lesko and Andy Biggs to Missouri's Ann Wagner and Mark Alford. The lunatics are now running the Republican caucus, and they want to spend your tax dollars launching investigations into a bunch of imaginary election fraud. The next 2 years are going to be a mess. But there were some moments of victory for common sense and sanity. In Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz defeated Scott Jensen, another Republican who claimed the 2020 election was stolen. Jensen also said if elected, he'd imprison the Democratic Commissioner of Elections in Minnesota. So, an all-around victory for democracy there. And one of the worst election deniers, the far-right Christian nationalist Doug Mastriano, went up in flames in Pennsylvania against his Democratic opponent, Josh Shapiro. Pennsylvania made the right choice, and now has the added bonus of making the anti-Semitic Christian nationalist right really sad. With many key races still undecided and control of the Senate still in the balance, the midterms are far from over, as much as we might want them to be. Congress now faces a serious new threat from Republicans more beholden to conspiracy theories than they are to the Constitution. It will be up to Democrats to limit the damage. If you made it to the end, thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like and consider subscribing. And leave a comment below so you can let me know what I should cover next.